You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 3rd meeting for the Michigan City Common Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is June 3rd. This is the first meeting for the month of June 2025 of the Common Council. If you haven't already done so, please silence all electronic devices and join me, stand for the pledge and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Beatrice?
Present.
Mr. Coulter?
Present.
Mr. Dabney?
Present.
Dr. Cora? Ms. Lee?
Present.
Ms. Moldenauer?
Present.
Mr. Nelson?
Present.
And Mr. Kozłowski.
Present.
We have 8 present and 1 absent.
And for the record, the absentee is President Tracy Tillman. She did notify us, so her absence is excused. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the regular meeting, hybrid and Zoom, for May 20th, 2025. Does anybody have any corrections?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Councilman Prispolinski, second by Councilman Cora. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Next on the agenda, reports of standing committees. Are there any reports of standing committees? No reports of standing committees? Hearing none. Next is the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee did meet today. 2 people were present, Councilman Cora and myself. There was a claim. The claim is for $37,799.86. This is the May and June a payment allotment to LaPorte Chrysler for the Dodge Durangos and Dodge Chargers that are used by the Michigan State Police Department. Normally this is half that, but this is the May and June both together, and it was approved unanimously. Second on the agenda for the Finance Committee was the statement of cash position for funds. Fund 2235, the Riverboat Fund, has a balance as of June 2nd of $1,872,749.72. Fund 2236, the Rainy Day Fund, is a balance of $1,830,213.71, leading to a grand total of $3,702,963.43. Next on the agenda, reports from boards and commissions.
Take the vote on.
Mr. President,
Pardon me.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Vote on claims.
I'll make a motion to accept the claims.
Thank you. Motion by Councilman Dabney and a second by Councilman Cora. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Same sign. We've approved them both. Claims, yeah, claims have been approved by the council. Next on the agenda are boards and commissions. Any report from board or commission? Second time. Any report from board and commission? Next on the agenda, reports of special or select committees. Any reports from special or select committees? Ooh, I like the way this is going tonight. Moving on to reports from mayor or other city officials and departments.
Like the way it's going now. Good evening, council. Chief Taylor, Fire Department. Go ahead and give you my May report. Sorry I wasn't here last month, but I'll give you the report for May of 2025. We had a total of 446 calls. We had 17 fires. I'll get back to that. 316. So we had 17 fires, 316 medical calls, 18 hazardous conditions, which were not fires, such as fuel spills, electrical problems, stuff like that. 14 service calls, 48 good intent, which would be like canceled en route, stuff like that, where we didn't make it, or, steam instead of smoke. False alarm, false calls, we had 30 of those. And 2 special incident types. And this is where I don't know what those are. Special incident type, and we have 1 overpressure. It falls under overpressure rupture, overheat kind of thing. So without looking at the actual reports, I don't know exactly what those 3 calls are. We ended up with a total of 446 calls, and Narcan was used 8 times on those 316 medical calls. And for a total of 2,042 calls this year alone, up to this point. Last year at the same time, we had 1,965, so we're 77 over what we were at same time last year. Any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marty Corley, Police Chief, Michigan City Police Department. Good evening, council. I have emailed and also passed out a copy of the MCPD stats for May. So I'll go through those real quick. Total cost for service were $4,014, 447 more than in April. Also, we had talked about breaking down loud music, loud noise disturbances. So I have those broken down in there, as you can see in that. Total cost of service, because the way our cost of service are put in, sometimes it put in loud music, loud noise, or disturbances, kind of varies. So between those, you had a total of 138 total. And then also we kind of broke it down for Sheridan Beach for you all also, that area, because I know that's where we're getting a lot of the short-term rentals. And so you had a total of 16 total in Sheridan Beach for May. We'll continue to break it down like that also, so we can kind of get a gauge on that issue with the short-term rentals in Sheridan Beach. Total reports taken 453, I'm sorry, 79 more than April. Total arrests 203, 30 more than April, and 19 juveniles and 184 adults, which was 29 more than April for the adults. Total shots fired calls 69 more in April. Total firearms seized were 16, 5 more than April. Speeding tickets 98, 35 less than April. Had 11 citations and 87 warnings. Warrants issued were 121. Warrants served were 82. Warrants recalled were 37. Total amount of warrants cleared for the month of April, 119. Flock usage, where case reports taken were a total of 20. One of those was a stolen vehicle, which was vehicles recovered. Raven notification was 4, which 1 arrest was made out of that. Arrest report, accident report was 1, 9 theft reports, warrant arrests, 3 of them, and fraud investigation 1, intimidation investigation 1. Police social worker Jocelyn Colburn, she had 73 total referrals, made 70 total contacts. Those referral sources were 5 was from the school resource officers, 7 were from reports, 18 were from the patrol division, 39 were self-referral, 3 were outside agencies, and 1 was outreach. Referral types, 15 suicidal ideation attempt, 15 was mental health, 4 was substance abuse overdose, 5 was wellness checks, 10 was 19 juvenile issues, 19 were juvenile issues or runaway, 1 was abuse or neglect, 3 was homelessness, unstable housing, 5 were aging and elderly, another 5 protective order, 5 was a victim of crime, 2 were autism, 2 were death, 5 financial issues, 5 legal issues, and then resources provided. 4 was for recovery supports, 1 was community mental health centers, 2 other counseling agency, 1 was for emergency department hospital, 4 were housing agency, 6 were shelters, 2 were employment agencies and other between APS, Family Advocates, Porter Stark, and the MERT team. Any questions on that report?
Yeah, Chief.
Yes.
Yeah, with the speeding tickets,
Yes.
where there was 35 less than what was written in April, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Why would that be, do you think? I mean, is the department maybe not focusing on speeding for a period of time? And because I don't think people are slowing down.
Yeah.
Much.
And so as you see as you can see the reports, call for service went up. Well, those calls for service takes away from that also a little bit. And also we were kind of in between OPO enforcement also, so we have more at the end of the month than we did throughout the whole month. So, but we will make sure that we will continue to monitor those numbers. Thank you for that question.
Councilman Coulter?
Thank you. Chief, can you just briefly describe the boundary of Sheridan Beach that you used for this report?
I knew he was going to ask me that. I don't have a computer in front of me, but so when we take our reports throughout the city, they're broken down into districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then in each district they're broken down into sectors. So Sheridan Beach is a sector 105, 106 in our reports. I'm sorry, I want to say, so you're looking at Lakeshore Drive primarily from probably Center all the way down to the boundaries that Long Beach starts, and then over until like Lake Hill Drive area.
Okay, so is that going to include, like, generally just speaking, north of 12 would answer that area?
Yeah, not so much Fogarty and all that. That becomes another district, I believe.
Throw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Surely can.
All right.
Councilman Cora?
Yeah, thank you, Chief, for the report. Last month, 3 ladies came who had problems with some short-term rental people creating a mess. With the existing rules and ordinances that are in place, can those be handled, or do we need to come up with something new? Because I really think a lot of people use short-term rentals, and I think we need to continue with their ability to do that, but at the same time make sure that this kind of nuisance doesn't happen.
Yeah. So from being in that meeting, and what I observed, it seems like there's just a couple of bad actors.
Right.
And I think if we collaborate and work to get those bad actors in compliance, I think really what we have is good enough. But again, I haven't really dived into it much.
Okay.
We don't deal with that ordinance as much because it's more code enforcement would deal with it more. I mean, we would deal with the initial, like, loud music complaints and big parties and all that. But as far as that the teeth of that ordinance, I think it's more of a code enforcement issue. But it's something that we could also work with them for. Like, one of my suggestions was when they get that list of short-term rentals, what we'll do is we can hopefully put it into our CAS. When officers dispatch, they know it's an Airbnb or a short-term rental. So now we can keep those numbers and then report them back to code enforcement to do some follow-up and then also report whatever enforcement that we did for that night.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Yeah, Mr. President?
Yes.
Yeah, I have one more. Question, and Chief, you and I were talking about that Orbits gun, pistol that young folks, like children maybe are even playing with nowadays. And there was an issue that came up during the week, and I'm not going to get into that. But could you explain both to the council and to the public what this type of gun is, and maybe it's not a good idea to let your children run around with this type of pistol?
Yeah, so they're like souped up Nerf guns. They shoot out these water like pellets, but then in the past, kids have put those in the freezer and put them in there, so they're a little bit, they're hurt a little bit more. It's a little bit more sting. Unfortunately, they, I guess, are legal, but we have taken a stance that if there's any enforcement we can due to what, so it's one thing for a group of kids to be playing amongst each other. Really, the problem comes in is when they go out and start shooting innocent people who are not playing the games with them. And, we've had some reports of, either kids getting shot by those or people getting shot by those. Sometimes you see these kids out hanging out windows and shooting other cars, and they're driving by and shooting them and so forth. So we try to enforce what we can with the law. But I would, as a parent, I would say this: I have a boy in that Orbits gun range, and we don't have it in my household. We don't play with them. I would. Again, they're a little bit more dangerous, I think, than your traditional Nerf guns, and do a little bit more damage. And like I say, if they use them improperly, they can even, damage property. So if the public, as a parent, I'm giving you an opinion as a parent, okay, that I would not let my kids have Orbis guns.
Yeah,
and if you see one of my kids with Orbis guns, let me know so I can immediately take away from them.
No, but I appreciate your opinion, and that's why I wanted you to speak on it tonight.
Yes,
both as a parent, and both as the chief of police and the city council, looking out for public safety, that we don't want to have anybody getting hurt with that. I mean, even if an innocent, somebody's playing with it, and you shoot somebody in the eye, you knock somebody's eye out or whatever the situation may be, that's not good. So
yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
One quick comment. In reference to Dr. Corr's question, the two ladies who came to us with the issues in the Sheridan Beach area, there is going to be another meeting, I think, hosted by Councilman Cora a week from today on June 10th at EOC, 5:30, I believe. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock to address this issue. The first meeting was really for information only. This one's going to be, what do we need to do to solve this? Is the existing ordinance enough? Does it need to be tweaked at all? So if you still have issues about that, put June 10th on your calendar. Thanks for the report. Is that all?
And I have some other announcements to make. So also like to send congratulations to Chief Fork and Chief Cooney. They are the unsung. They'll receive the Unsung Hero Award from the Michigan City Human Rights Commission on June 12th. At the Senior Center at 6 o'clock. I know tickets have been sold, so if you need any tickets, I would contact Daryl Borton about those. Also, Detective Taylor Tillman will receive the I Rise Award from the Indiana Black Expo Michigan City chapter. That'll be June 13th at the IBI luncheon at 11 a.m. at the Blue Chip. And I know IBI members are selling tickets for that. So just wanted to get that out there, congratulate them publicly for their works. As you know, Chief Forker and Chief Cooney are not only the two assistants, but they're the backbone of this department of some of the things that go on. They really make my job look a lot easier. I come up here and give you these reports and they're cool, but they actually do a lot of the grunt work out there. So I think it's fitting that they receive this award. Also, our Youth Leadership Academy will start next Monday. We have 47 future leaders signed up for that academy. As you know, after COVID, we went through some years of kind of get back up. Traditionally, when we first started, we were at right around that 50 number. And so we're getting right back up to that number now as the years come. This year, Captain Jillian Ashley will be running the academy. So they have a lot of some newer things planned for the kids, kind of evolving a little bit with the academy. So we're excited to have them running around the police station for a whole week. That should be exciting. Graduation will be that Friday, the 13th at 1 p.m. here at the City Council Chamber. So if anybody wants to come and attend, feel free to come attend that graduation. Also, I want to give a save the date for our National Night Out. It'll be August 5th, 2025 from 5 to 8 p.m. Right now, we're hoping to have the 7th and Franklin Street area. Again, I'm waiting for just the final okay from redevelopment, but I've been in talks with them, and then we'll come in front of the Board of Public Works also to get 7th Street closed off here in the next couple of weeks. But again, last year we had laser tag. We're bringing that back. We have free food giveaways, community vendors, DJ, face painting, balloon character, all that exciting stuff. Just want the community to come out and network with each other, build relationships, so forth. This year we're adding line dancing, so come out and get your dance on also. And not only will we be there representing ourselves, but all law enforcement agencies from LaPorte County last year were there, so we're trying to get them back to kind of have a vehicle there representation. So hope you all can come out for that. If anybody wants to be a vendor for that event or wants to donate towards that event to us, get in touch with myself or Captain Ashley at the police department. And last but not least, I also handed with you with your stats flyer for the Michigan City Midnight Hoops. Very excited about this program. Councilman Dabney in the past have been an integral part of making that happen in the past. This year we have a group of young adults who were part of the Neighborhood Leadership Academy who kind of start talking about it and got some of us others to kind of help them get together, but they're really doing all the legwork and bringing it together. It'll be basically 4 weeks in July, or actually July 13th to the August 3rd, every Sunday from like 6:30 to 12 a.m. at the YMCA. Michigan City Police Department, we are a partner with them along with the Family YMCA and some other organizations, as you can see on that flyer. And then the combine will be the 29th. The ages are 13 to 15 and then 16 to 25 for the participants. And also there'll be resource vendors and so forth throughout each night also. So it's not just gonna be basketball. It's gonna be like the old midnight basketball concept. Not as late as midnight basketball, because midnight basketball went a little bit later. If you have any history about midnight basketball, you know really it was a crime prevention initiative. So we're happy to be involved with that initiative and making sure that not only our streets are safe, but we have safe environments for our youth to not only get out the physical energy, but also get some knowledge too while they're there. So we're happy to be a part of that. If anybody again wants to sign up on that flyer, it's a QR code. If there's anybody that wants to donate towards it, you can get in touch with Shalewa Miller or Molly Heath. Those are two main focal people who are making sure that everything is going great, and they have done a fantastic job. I told them that my excitement is I like to hear the program, but really the big excitement is that just seeing them go and get it done. Because sometimes we can meet, but they were like, let's do it. And they just kind of went and get it done. So no matter what happens with it, it's a success because of their leadership and enthusiasm. Any questions on that? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment about the Midnight Hoops. And for people who don't know, I'll just give a little bit of the history of it. Back in 1991, that's when it first started with Randy Payne and Randy Brooks and those guys put this thing together. We went for about a 3-year stretch or so with them.
Yes.
And then I took this over and I had it 2010, 2012. I think somebody else did it in between. But the police chiefs during that time actually came and showed us crime data for the times that we were having the Midnight Basketball League program. And it showed that crime was down in the city during the operating hours of midnight basketball. Most of them were in the gym watching what was going on inside of the gym. And it was a very good program. Unfortunately, some people tried to give it a negative connotation with midnight hoops and midnight basketball and that, but it was a very good program. And I also need to speak to you after this is over. I've been trying to find old files that I have to give to them to make their lives a little bit easier. And I just found it on this travel drive that I have here. So I want to talk to you before we take off so I can give them some information to help them out. Okay. But very good program. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with and how they do this.
Yeah. And not only like us, the mayor's office, the mayor has also been a very big supporter of this program and other city departments and community organizations. So again, exciting. I'm excited for it to get going. We just actually had a meeting before I got here, and I'm like, man, like this is cool. Even even cooler for me because I didn't have to be like the focal point. All I had to do was be like the cleanup man. Like, you need an email, you need a contact, you need to go ask for some money. Like, that was easy. I was like, I don't got to do none of this planning stuff. So they're doing a great job. So please come out and support, and also pass information out to those age groups so we can get as many people possible to participate in the program.
Councilwoman Lee?
Thanks, Mr. President. Chief, thank you for all this information. And with the Youth Leadership Academy, you said that there were 47 participants. Is
50,
that,
yeah, 47, yes, ma'am.
is that full? Or is
Yes.
there room?
Yeah,
for
they're
anyone
full.
else?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why they're full also is because we had to cut it off at a certain point in order to make sure that we could order all the supplies for all the kids. So actually the cutoff date was the 22nd, I believe. I think we even went closer to the 23rd for a couple, but we are full. Again, next year we will, try to up it up maybe another to 55, 60. We would like to, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, are there any petitions?
There are no
Oh, I'm sorry.
petitions this
Mr.
evening.
President, yeah.
One more update. Is that okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, sure.
Can you hear me?
Department?
Okay, great. I'm sorry. This was a last minute request, but I think it's really important and hopefully it'll be helpful. At the request of Councilman Coulter, and just in the essence of giving out good information to this entire body, I wanted to give you a brief update on the Washington Park Boulevard streetscape.
Okay, hold right there.
Yes.
This is the section for city officers and departments?
Yes, I am the Director of Public Works.
Oh. go
Sorry, I
ahead.
should have
And your
said that,
name,
Tim.
please?
Forgive me, I'm trying to make it brief. I know that you're
sorry.
running through it.
You ready?
Wendy Vacher, the Director of Public Works. Thank you for accommodating me. I should have said that first and foremost. Just a brief update on the Washington Park Boulevard streetscape project. This is a continuation of an existing project that was, I guess it's probably phase 2. This particular part of the project runs from Lake Avenue to Lauren Road. Very similar than the first time. It's improvements to the streetscape. So there'll be addition of sidewalks, additional drainage improvements, some improvements for ADA, handicap access at the ramps. Unfortunately, when the project got started a few weeks ago, the consultant in charge inadvertently sent the wrong letter to a few of the landowners. And so we are in the process of getting all of that worked out to make sure that the people have the right information. And now you know what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Tim Warner, the city engineer, has been out to speak with individuals. And I know that Councilman Coulter was very concerned about making sure we had the right information. So we met with the consultant yesterday. New letters will be going out to those that received the previous letter that was incorrect. And the new letters simply clarify that there is no permanent property being purchased as part of this project. These are temporary easements only, mostly for driveway improvements, and those will be negotiated as appropriate. Only landowners that are technically could be impacted by temporary easements will receive letters. That's why not everybody along the route got a letter. So I want to clarify that. And the consultant is offered to have a public meeting to clarify any concerns or any impacts or anything else that might be of interest to you or others along the route. So we'll get that scheduled as soon as possible. So just thought it might be nice to clear that up. I believe it came up at the last meeting. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Good information. Thank you.
Anything for me?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, petition.
There are no petitions this evening. Correspondence. Correspondence was received in the clerk's office from Clarence Halls, Executive Director of the EDCMC, on May 19th, appointing Beverly McMartin as the appointee for their committee for the Michigan City Sustainability Commission.
Thank you. And we move to resolutions by title only.
A resolution by title only, a declaratory resolution designating a certain area of the city of Michigan City, Indiana, be designated as a Cooper Economic Revitalization Area, to which dedication from assessed value may be requested by an applicant to Common Council of the City of Michigan City pursuant to Indiana Code 6-11-12-1. And this is introduced by Mr. Beatrice.
Thank you. This is, I know some of us didn't go to the executive session for one reason or another. If you went to the exec session that was held about a week ago, you probably are more informed about what this is about. This is to establish a revitalization area, a TIF district. It will be there for about 40 years, I believe, and the tax abatement for that will be a 10-year abatement, which fits right into the sweet spot for most of us. Normally, after I speak, I would ask for public comment and then comment from the council. I know that Skylar York is here, as well as Clarence Hulse. I'd like to ask them to come to the agenda for the purpose of to the microphone for the purpose of members who weren't able to attend the exec session and tell us a little bit more about this, and then we'll open it up for public comment.
They're going to be called to the principal's office. Good evening, Clarence Hulse, EDCMC Director. We are working on a usually large project, and they have requested the city put together a TIF area for the properties they're working on. And so we can't say much right now about who they are and that type of stuff, but they did come to talk to the council in the executive session and kind of talk about what they want to do in this city. So this resolutions begins that process. We'll be coming back to you guys in 2 weeks with some of the paperwork to move it forward, but this is the initial paperwork we have to start in the process.
Just to add to this, the ERA is the beginning of establishing the TIF. The TIF will only be for a 25-year period. The ERA will extend past that. Just keep that in mind. And it's a project-specific ERA and a project-specific TIF will be. So this won't establish all of that. We'll have to come back to you guys to establish the TIF, do the declaratory resolution, do all those things as a normal TIF. Just keep that in mind.
I know this. For those of us who attended, this is an outstanding economic development opportunity for Michigan City. I think will pay benefits for decades. And I guess before I open this up for public comment, I asked the question in exec session, when are we going to hear from you next? And the mayor said, in June. So here you are. My next question is, when are we going to hear from you next then?
We've been dealing with trying to decide if the TIF was the best way to pursue the economic benefit. So now we've established that it will. I've actually contacted our attorneys, Randolph Rampolla, had him kind of waiting. ASAP, we'll get back before you with a TIF declaratory resolution. I don't know that we'll get it done by Monday at our next redevelopment commission meeting, but we may have to have a special meeting to establish that and then get it back before you in a very timely manner. We want the dominoes to kind of fall succinctly so you can see the full project and how it all lays out. We'll be back before you, I'd say hopefully in July, maybe, but maybe before then. I'm just not quite sure how quickly Mr. Rampolla can type. So.
Okay.
But our intent is to be back before you so you see the whole thing, the whole process through.
Okay, as quickly as possible, but this is a big deal. Take your time.
If I may add, what happens is Mr. Rampolla, once he is given the green light, which he's been given today, he will lay out a planning chart for us, and we will have a path forward, and we'll know the dates we're hitting everything to get everything done in a timely manner.
Okay, thank you. Public comment on the resolution. Is there any public comment on the resolution? Last time, public comment? Hearing none. Council comment? Yes. Councilman Pryzbylewski.
For the tax abatement, right? This is looking for tax abatement 2 at this time?
Not tonight, but we will come back to you with our paperwork, yes.
Okay.
That's part of the intent.
And what is this company, what are they looking for as far as tax abatement? You said 10 years or?
They're looking for two, one for 40 years and one for 10 years.
40 years and 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilman Dabney.
Yeah, this is not a question for either. Just want to explain to some of the people who do not understand what tax abatements are. I see this argument all the time that we're losing tax dollars due to these tax abatements and how they all work. So I just wanted to inform the public, some of the people who are watching, how these things work. And these tax abatements are happening all over the state, all over the place. And what they're using is to draw people into your community for development. And what happens is we're talking about, let's say, a 10-year abatement. So basically, we can call it a break. The companies have a tax break, and it starts at a certain level where they're not paying taxes at the beginning, but over time, as the years go by, they pay more and more taxes, which then come into the city. By the end of the 10-year period, they are paying the full tax amount, and that's what the abatement is all about. And we use these and set these things up for these companies that want to come here, but they have promises on the other side. A lot of times they will say they're going to do so much in terms of investment in the city. Sometimes the abatement will say they're going to hire so many people within the city. And then we have a tax abatement committee that looks these things over as they're going. So they're reviewed over that 10-year basis to make sure that they're keeping up their end of the bargain as to why we gave them the tax abatement. So in the end, these are positive things in order to bring development into your city. But once again, like I said, they start by paying less taxes, but as time goes on, they pay more and more that comes into the city. And at the end of the abatement, all of the tax dollars are coming into the city. And these are really things that are being used everywhere to draw development into your community. So we are using those here in Michigan City as well.
Councilman Cora. Councilman Cora.
Thank you, Councilman Dabney, for explaining this. I think everybody needs to understand that. The second thing I wanted to mention was a lot of other communities are competing with us, or we are competing with them to attract these businesses into our communities. So I think we should be very competitive in making sure that we attract those businesses, and especially if you're talking about a project of this magnitude or a business of this magnitude and size, which will really change Michigan City for the better in a huge way. I think we should be open to that idea. Thank you very much.
Any further comment from the council?
Yeah, Mr. President, and I know this is kind of putting the cart before the horse, but when word comes down from Mr. Rumpolo, with the tax abatement and, the other things. Yeah, I know it'll have to be mentioned at the council meeting, but I would, maybe everybody should start thinking about it now, because I think it'll probably be pretty detailed, is that we have a workshop when this information comes down to the council, so we understand exactly what's going on. But I mean, that'll be at that time, and I'll bring that up at that time. But I just want to get the thought out there.
Go ahead.
I would just say tonight, the economic revitalization area, the ERA that you're establishing, you still get a say over the abatement, still has to come back, and the TIF still has to come back. So be very clear, we're not establishing the TIF for the abatement tonight. We're simply establishing that ERA that's the tool to allow us to do the other two things, just to get that out to the public as well.
Thank you.
And yes, I would say at the time it's presented to you, if you would like to have a workshop on it to understand it a little bit more, and the TIF and the time frame of that TIF, that's something we can accommodate.
Yeah, I think we probably will want to have a workshop after we know a little bit more about what's going on. Anyone else from the council have a comment? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion from Councilman Cora,
Second.
second from, is that you, Joe Nelson? The roll, please.
Mr. Presebalinski,
Aye.
Mr. Beatrice,
Aye.
Mr. Coulter,
Aye.
Mr. Dabney,
Aye.
Dr. Cora,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Moldenauer,
Aye.
and Mr. Nelson.
Aye.
We have 8 in favor and no one opposed.
Thank you. Next on the agenda are ordinances. Madam Clerk, please read our ordinance on second reading by title only.
An ordinance on second reading by title only, amending section 78-6 in the Michigan City Municipal Code known as drinking in public and private areas. And this is introduced by Mr. Coulter.
Does the author have any comments?
I do, Mr. President. So just to reiterate what this ordinance is and does. So right now in Michigan City, we have a public drinking ordinance that says you can't have an open container anywhere in Michigan City. And then obviously last year we passed DORA, which creates an area in Michigan City where you can buy a refreshment from a restaurant and walk out into public. For example, at a parade or close to the beachfront. There's various places that would make more sense for that. So the ordinance that we're looking at tonight revisits the public drinking ordinance and creates an exemption for the DORA, just so everything's tidy and neat. And I think that makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, passing it over.
Thank you. Public comment on this ordinance? Any public comment? Name and address?
Yes, this is Tommy Kolovic from 1316 Ohio Street. I think that something else ought to be included in this doors. I don't think there's really too much benefit for the city from this. I think, most of the benefit is going to be for the bar owners. I still feel that they ought to have a surcharge, like $1 a cup, that charge them $1 for every cup they take out. We can take all that money and put it all in one big pot and pass it along to all the municipal employees across the board in the form of a big fat raise. I just think we ought to, if they're going to take it up, we ought to charge them. I don't care if they're going to have the door; they're going to drink on the streets and in the parking lot of the park anyway. So just might as well have it.
Any further comment? No further comment? This ordinance will move on to third reading at our next meeting. New business. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. New business. Well, let me ask you a question to our legal counsel. On the advice and consents, is there any reason why we can't do those by aye, nay? Take them individually by, these are advice and consent of the council on appointments by the mayor.
Because there's no statute that requires because there's no statute that requires a roll call vote, it really comes down to the pleasure of the council.
Okay, it would pleasure me to do it aye, nay.
But because that's not established, I think, as a standard thing, I think the council would have to vote on it.
I agree.
Take these aye, nay.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call. Thank you.
The first item of new business, and the mayor is requesting the advice and consent of the Michigan City Common Council regarding her reappointment of Dennis Britton as a member of the Michigan City Tree Board, with this term beginning immediately and expiring on July 1st, 2027. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Congratulations to Dennis Britton. Second item is the mayor is requesting the advice and consent of the Michigan City Common Council regarding her new appointment of Harshina Ratnayaka, I think, replacing John Melowitz as a member of the Michigan City Tree Board, with his term beginning immediately and expiring July 1st, 2027. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Congratulations to Harshina.
And I just want to make a correction on the pronoun there. It should be her term, beginning immediately.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Next item is the mayor is requesting the advice and consent of the Michigan City Common Council regarding her new appointment of Denise Blau, replacing Dominique Edwards, who resigned as a member of the tree board with a term beginning immediately and expiring on August 1st, 2025. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Congratulations to Denise. Next item, the mayor is requesting the advice and consent of the Michigan City Common Council regarding her appointment of Catherine Mitcheller, replacing Robin Cohn, who retired as a member of the Art Committee, with her term beginning immediately and expiring February 28th of 2026. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Congratulations to Catherine. The next item is an FYI to the council. Darrell Borton, chair of the Human Relations Commission, advised the Human Rights appointed Kamisha Williams to represent their board on the Michigan City social status of African American males, replacing Pastor Carroll, term expiring February 15, 2027. This is an information only and requires no action from us this time. We move to unfinished business. Are there any unfinished business? I see none. Next on the agenda is comments from the public. Your name and address, and the rocket will be lit up here. I know you know what that means, Tommy. The green, you're good. The yellow, you have 15 seconds, and the red, your 3 minutes has expired.
Yeah, this is Tommy Kolavic from 1316 Ohio Street again. I have a few public service announcements I'd like to make. It's that time of year again. I'm going to read the dates and the times that the fireworks can be discharged within the city limits, and this is under section 54-231, regulation of fireworks, under subsection A, number 2. Fireworks displays as set forth by state law, including the hours between 5 p.m. and 2 hours after sunset from July 29th, not May 29th, to July 3rd, and from July 5th to July 9th, not September 9th, from 10 a.m. to midnight, and on the 4th of July from 10 a.m. to midnight. And on New Year's Eve, it's from midnight to 1 a.m. It's another public service announcement. I know this is coming from the Michigan City Area School Board, and I know you're not the school board, but we're very education-centric here. There's something serious going on. This is from the Little Wolves Early Learning Center. They're having an open house for prospective families. And it's not only open for Michigan City area schools, it's open for anybody. Chesterton, LaPorte, New Buffalo, LaPorte County, anywhere. They're having the open house. It's going to be Wednesday, July 11th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., 1001 US 20, Woodland and 20. Their number is 219-873-2035. You can tour their facility, meet our caring teachers and staff, learn about our play-based philosophy. Full and half-day options available. CCDF and On My Way pre-K vouchers accepted. Enroll your child for 2025 or any time from the age of 3. Child must be fully potty trained to enroll. Their website is educatemc.net/Little Wolves. That's an awesome program. My little niece Naira, she just graduated from it. She gets to repeat next year because she won't be old enough to start kindergarten next year. I'm very proud of her. She's the first one in the family to graduate out of that program. And it's a proven success model. I think we recall when we had the Early Learning Center at Eastport, those students that cycled through, they had graduated with a higher grade point average than those that didn't. So I also want to congratulate all our class of 2005, Michigan City. I want all the students that graduated from college and on Sunday's graduation. I had my niece Alexis. She just graduated with her master's degree from IU in Bloomington. Mayor Angie's daughter Cindy, she just graduated from IU, and just want to thank you and have a good day. Good night.
Thank you, Tommy.
Got right on time.
Well, my name is Michael Cochran. I live at 216 West 8th Street here in Michigan City. And I've been riding around town here and I'm looking at the parks. And most of the parks here have porta potties. And I know that the one down in downtown here at Charles Westcott Park does not have one. Now, when they first built it 8, 9, 10 years ago, they had one down there. And now it's not. And I'm just wondering why, because they're supposed to go on there. I'm retired. I got a bunch of guys who retired. We sometimes go out in the park and talk and this and that. And can't use the bathroom because there's no potty down there. And that's the reason why I'm here.
Thank you for the information. Appreciate it. Any further comment from the public? Any further comment? Any further comment? Thank you. Comments from the council? Councilman Dabney?
Yes, real quick. Just wanted to mention something that we've kind of lost our way, I think, in the way we run business through the council. I'm in my 10th year, and the first 4 years I was on the council. What we did when issues would come up, they would go to a certain committee. We have a tax abatement committee. We have a park department committee. And there's a long list. Gail makes this list every year. It's legal paper. It's very long, but we have all these committees that we have. So when an issue comes up, we used to assign things to a committee. Now everything is put into a public workshop. And I know sometimes I would say it could be okay for a public workshop, but what it turns into is a lot of times. People will stop into those meetings and think they can legislate in the public workshops. And I would love to see us going back to the committees, as we just had one committee report tonight, the Finance Committee. They had the meeting, they came out, and they usually say, or they come out and say, we recommend that you approve the docket with 2-0 vote or whatever it is. But we've kind of gotten away from that. And just why do we have the committees if we're not going to use them? So I wish we would get back to that a little bit in terms of assigning certain things out to the committees rather than everything turn into a public workshop, because sometimes they can turn into some free-for-alls and things of that sort. So I wish we would get back to that. I know some of the newer council members have not had a chance to even see that because they came on, and we've always been that way since they've been here. But like I said, I'm in year 10, and I remember when we used to use our committees. And hopefully we could start to move some of this back where everything is not going to a public workshop. Because like I said, we have people that will come in and try to legislate at those workshops. So hopefully we can go back to the way the order used to be. I just think it worked a lot smoother when we did it that way. So, it's not like it's killing me or anything that we're doing it the way we are, but I would just like to see us go back to using some of the committees to figure out some of these issues and then come back to the council with their recommendation or not a recommendation to pass whatever it is that they're looking at. So one day.
Councilman Molnar.
Thank you. I just have two announcements to make. One of them is Northwest Indiana Green Drinks is happening this Thursday, June 5th. And that's going to be at 6:30 p.m. as usual. The topic this time is going to be an unusual blending of two useful lives. And this is going to focus on Harriet Colfax, who was our lighthouse keeper for 40-some years, I believe, the longest ever within the female lighthouse keeper in the United States, and Ann Hartwell, who was a public school teacher in Michigan City. Brian Forrest, who's a national park ranger, and he's also a professor at Indiana University. He'll be presenting this. He's extremely interesting, very knowledgeable, and yes, engaging. So if you can join us for that, please do that. That was for my last person. You can join us via Save the Dunes Facebook page. There'll be a live feed for that. Or you can get the Zoom link from that's EM at savedunes.org. M, which stands for Emily, at savedunes.org. And hope all of you can make it. This is probably one of our more prominent citizens that, was here in Michigan City and really established a career at a time that women did not have careers. The other thing I would like to mention is that I'm so glad that Michigan City Midnight Basketball or Midnight Hoops or whatever you want to call it is coming back. But I do want to give a shout out to the Michigan City Neighborhood Leadership Academy, which was sponsored by the Michigan City Economic Development Corporation. And it was a group of young people who were attending that revitalized the idea of this actually happening. So it very much has been youth driven. And I also want to give a shout out to 2 women in our community that provided them with the guidance of the structure, how they had to get their insurance, what they needed to do to get this set up. And those 2 people are Beverly Mac Martin and Denise Ship Glenn. So I think we owe them a thank you also for guiding this youth through the process of actually getting all the paperwork together. So thank you.
Next online is Councilwoman Lee.
Thank you. I have 3 announcements. One, I'd like to give a shout out to the firefighters at Station 4 B shift. I took all of my classes there during the second to last week of school. They spent their entire day giving 6 different tours to all my students. They let them use the fire hose and get in the trucks and take pictures. It was an awesome day. So shout out to them. And then we have 2 city events coming up. So next Saturday, June 14th from 1 to 8 p.m., we have Michigan City Pride Fest, and that is at the Guy Foreman Amphitheater over here at Washington Park Beach. If you haven't been, it's a wonderful day with just good, positive vibes everywhere, welcoming aura. It's a wonderful day. And that's from 1 to 8 p.m., and it is free to anyone. There's no fee to get in. And then on Thursday, June 19th is Juneteenth, and that is also at the Guy Foreman Amphitheater. And that is open to the public, free, and it starts at 1 p.m. and goes all the way till 7 p.m. The last artist performs at 7 p.m. So come out and support and enjoy those wonderful festivals.
Next is Councilman Przybylski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, and to response to what Councilman Dabney was talking about as far as having committee meetings and things like that, that's totally up to the president. If he wants to assign a certain issue to a committee, that's up to the president to do that. But if anybody on the council feels that they want to, spearhead something with their committee, feel free to talk to the president, and I'm sure that he'll let you go ahead and do that. So I just wanted to bring that up. The other thing, last Saturday at the Water Tower Park, which is located right behind the fire station on Michigan Boulevard, the park department had a ribbon cutting for that. I believe the park department spent $1 million investing into that park, and it was a very nice day. Beautiful park if you get a chance to take a ride by there. And I certainly hope that the public will appreciate that park and take care of it. If they see anything going on there that shouldn't be going on, please notify the police department so they can come down there and take care of the issues. So I want to give a shout out to Shannon Eason, the park superintendent, who puts her heart and soul into that, and to the past park superintendent, Eddie Shin, who had a lot to do with getting that started also. Another issue that's been in Michigan City here, and I know a lot of folks here in the audience have heard about it, but that's the Woodland Avenue Railroad crossing that has been in disrepair for, the last 2.5 years. and has been reported to the CSX Railroad 2.5 years ago to start making plans to get it fixed. They were supposed to do it last summer. They did every other crossing in town except that crossing. Now they're supposed to come back, and to what I hear from the city engineer, Mr. Warner is looking into it. We're getting an answer from the CSX to what they're going to do with this crossing to get it done this year. So I'm waiting for that answer to come back from the city engineer, because I have people calling me about this. It's totally unacceptable. If you go over that crossing, you don't want to go over it again. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's just put it like that. So that has to get done. And one last thing, the Respite House, that's the house that they want, the Alcohol Abuse Center that they want to build on the corner of Ann and Wabash Street. I've only been to one presentation that was here, because I was laid up with knee surgery for a while. So anyway, my opinion is, in the opinion of many city officials and community leaders that I've spoken to about this construction of that building there, is that it does not belong in that part of Michigan City. That is not a good economic development tool to put in that part of town.
You need to wrap it up.
Pardon?
You need to wrap it up pretty quick.
Yeah, thank you. So I just wanted to let the public know where Councilman Don Przybylski stands. It doesn't belong there. And this coming Friday, if you have a flag, please fly it. If you don't have one, go buy it and fly it, because it is a celebration of the landing at Normandy. So that's a day to fly your flag in the United States. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one comment. I need to address the comment from Councilman Dabney and also Councilman Przybylski about the committee meetings. You're right. We haven't been having those, and that is at the whim of the president of the council. I'll share my thoughts with Tracy Chulman when she comes back. I'm very much in favor of going back to that, because it's a good opportunity for the public to give input in a less formal setting than the public comment at council meetings. A lot of good ideas have come from that in the past. And I'll add one thing. Yeah, the president appoints those to committees, but the municipal code in Michigan City allows any council person to recommend that any ordinance be sent to committee. So all of us can, if we decide, tell the council president that they would like to have that assigned to a committee. And that's part of our municipal code. Any other comments? I don't see any. Can we adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Nelson. Second? I'll second it. We are adjourned.